probably be destroyed. And will the Stalker see it? The Stalker definitely saw it, but will he take it down? He needs to get rid of it, and back up top, look at this. We actually have the Warp Prism in, and I'm not sure if there was actually any damage done yet. But he is forcing Penguin to warp in a few Stalkers to try and deal with this threat. The Warp Prism is sitting right here. He can't get rid of it. It's sitting right there. There you go. There it is. But he doesn't have anything down here to finish the job, and that Warp Prism is going to be sent home. It's entirely possible that a couple of Zealots or something were warped in there, but I was not paying attention, unfortunately. I was too concerned with this down here. Speaking of which, this pylon is going to be finally taken out by Grandpa, and good on him. That could have been a pretty dangerous thing to actually just have sitting around. He could have been caught off guard if he was back pushing up here. Stuff could have been warped in, and he would have been in some trouble, at the very least, had some damage done to his economy. So it looks like right now Grandpa is content on basically pumping out Immortals like crazy. Oh my, we also have a Dark Shrine going up. I like this. Dark Shrine in charge on the way. This is very good. I actually like where Grandpa is going with this right now. I mean, if I had to guess, I'm going to say DT for harassing, and if really, really necessary, maybe even use those DTs eventually for Archon, but in the current combination that isn't really necessary. He has so many Immortals, too gas intensive to be doing that, so he's going to have to be careful. He's going to need a third, and I was going to say both gentlemen need to be going for a third soon. Penguin just going up with that now. And I would like to see some scouting here by Penguin. Penguin needs to find out what tech is happening. There's been more than enough time go by since the last scouting pass of Penguin for a bit of a tech switch if need be. And so he is sending a probe out here right now. I'm not sure where he's going with it. Maybe just going to the tower. It's going to be taken out by a Stalker if that is its final destination. And that is, in fact, where it is. He's going to get rid of that probe for the most part. There it is. It is gone. And so, as far as upgrades go, and I was curious about this, it is 1-1 versus 1 for Grandpa in his favor. But look at the amount of giraffes on the field right now. This is a dangerous amount of giraffes, and like I've said before, it seems that between 4 and 6 seem to be the amount of giraffes necessary to really just destroy everything that moves. However, against a large 8 Immortal force here, it could be quite difficult to deal with. He's going to have to be very, very careful with where his placement of his Immortals are during an engagement with these Colossi. But look at this. There are the Dark Temp, and we do have an Observer coming over here, and so they're going to be getting rid of, and it looks like 4, 5 kills, 6 kills, 7 kills, 8 kills down for those, and I'm not sure if we look at the income now, it has been evened out quite substantially considering on 3 base. Some harvesters were definitely taken out, but look at this. He is tired of this and will be pushing with these giraffes. And there's a huge number again of those. Very nice force fields going down. He needs to utilize the distance of these giraffes very, very well. Because these Immortals, if given the opportunity, will get up way too close and shred through basically this entire army. There's not enough Zealots to deal with the rest of the threat here on the ground. He's basically relying solely on the Colossus, and there's just barely enough force fields to stay the rest of those Immortals from coming around the side there. But he's going to be very careful, and he needs to get out of there immediately, drop down a force field, and get out before he is completely taken out, and he uses the ramp there for his advantage. Very well done. And again, pushing back Grandpa. Grandpa now in a bit of trouble himself, and I should hold my tongue because he was able to use that nice little choke point there with his Colossi in order to get rid of the remaining 2 Immortals on the ramp, and now Grandpa is running away, leaving his base wide open for a huge attack here, and even another Immortal making its way into the field here for Penguin, and Penguin is going to be able to do huge damage here. Now, on the other side, Grandpa coming back with a couple more reinforcements here from his 3rd, but he doesn't seem to maybe have enough here. I don't know. There's a lot of Zealots in there, and they are going to get rid of a lot of the Colossi. Oh, they go down. There's just not enough Zealot counts there for Penguin to be able to stop the Zealots of Grandpa from getting rid of his very expensive giraffe army. Not enough there indeed, and he's going to be forced to go home. That is terrible for Penguin. That is a demoralizing loss there for Penguin. That's terrible. You don't want to go into a base like that seemingly have the advantage, having destroyed a lot of stuff. And I mean, let's be honest, he did get rid of what seems to be quite a few workers, now sending down here to saturate the third. But that's pretty demoralizing. You know, you have to be very careful when you're going in with your drafts like that, and he was unfortunately caught off guard with his ground forces outnumbered, not enough to back up those giraffes in the end. But right now he is feeling very comfortable. He's going to go back into more giraffes. He doesn't feel necessary to change his tactics. And it looks like Grandpa is also considering getting into the giraffe zone here with Thermal Lance on the way. He's also keeping up very, very nicely on his upgrades. We have 3 attack and 2 shields are actually on the way right now. And finally, it seems Penguin is going to get some charge. Now, if I had to take a stab at her, I'm going to have to say that that Grandpa at the end of the day is ahead, if only by a little bit right now in terms of just upgrades alone. Everything else is so close that it's tough to say. Food count is basically identical. Looks like they're both going for a very similar unit composition, and so at this point I have to give it to Grandpa, because really +3 attack charge lots are so freaking hard to kill, and if he's allowed to get to 3-3, that's, well, I mean, they're pretty much impossible to kill. 3-3 zealots are ridiculous. And look at this. Oh my goodness, we're going for height. Wow, okay, so that was the least most cost efficient way of getting Archons. Could have just went with DTs. That's okay, why not? Why not throw out some high temps for your Archons? It works. And we all love Archons. Archons are great. Archons are great. My favorite unit, actually. People ask me that all the time. What is your favorite Starcraft unit? It's Archons. I'm actually kind of intrigued with what ElPenguino wants to accomplish with this warp prism. It's probably, well, you know it's going to be for harassment, but I don't know what he plans on accomplishing with it. He's going to be very careful, because the majority of the forces here for Grampaflower are sitting within striking range. And so it looks like he's just going to have a small force warp in here. He is building up back at home with this composition. He is now 2-1, thankfully getting closer to evening out the upgrades, but is now 3-2 on the other end here for Grandpa. And that's getting into scary territory. Grandpa also grabbing what is now the 4th, as well as Penguin. Very, very close game. Both gentlemen playing very similar and playing well, I might add. I'm kind of happy with how this is all being played out by these gentlemen. I'm a little bit skeptical as to some of their pushing here, but Penguin has been largely the aggressor this entire game, forcing Grandpa to be the one going back home, forcing Grandpa to be the one to change his tech path. Grandpa's been pretty much playing Penguin's game, but at the same time, Grandpa's been playing so great defensively that it hasn't really allowed Penguin to take advantage of any of this aggression. And look at this, Grandpa, at the same time as there is some aggression and harassment going on back home, and these DTs will clear that up, it looks like he's also getting ready himself to do some harassment up here. Oh, and look at the timing on that. Look at the timing on that. That is close. And how close is that? Oh, no. Oh, geez. He can't see that as of yet. He can't see that as of yet, and Grampaflower cleaning up the rest of those harassing units. And now I'm just waiting for stuff to get warped in. He needs some time. He doesn't have a whole lot of time. These cannons are going to be finishing, so if he's going to get some attacks in, he needs to do it now, and he could get rid of a fair number of workers if he wanted to, but it seems like his attention is not being placed up there at all. In fact, he is continuing to surround and build up this now 4th base of his own. Both gentlemen rocking in and around the... Oh, wow, okay. ElPenguin is quite high up in terms of workers in comparison to his opponent. They are both, though, in the right, relatively the right range for the number of bases, and oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, strap yourselves in. We're going to see a good old-fashioned giant PvP battle if he doesn't just send half of his units in here like this and get them completely destroyed. And here they go. They're actually going to regroup in the right place at the right time. And now this is a very, very dangerous place for Grandpa. Grandpa's going to have to be very, very good about this. Is there an observer on the field? There is an observer here for Penguin, so he's going to be able to see these DTs. Some nice force fields going down from both sides. Giraffes just killing everything in no man's land. There is nowhere to move, and the Archons are able to move up to the front, and that is dangerous. The Colossi here for Penguin getting taken out, and Penguin is forced to GG. Down they go. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Whoo! You gotta love those big PvP battles. And at the end of the day, guys, it was upgrades for sure that came out there on top here, or came out on top for Grandpa. That was, whew, it was a big battle. Of course, you know, in that big exchange there in the middle, having those Archons in the no man's land was quite huge because everything else got wiped out, and so with the splash damage of the Archons, things got wiped out very, very quickly. Indeed, and so I have to hand it to Grandpa there. Well done. Both gentlemen playing well. Very, very similar playstyle and level of experience by the looks of it. I was waiting to see if there was going to be something that came in here, and by the looks of it, there might have been. I don't know. I was so enthralled by this giant Protoss battle that I didn't catch it all. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it. That is our Platinum level game. We are moving on. We have now hit Diamond. Hopefully we get some female viewers. I'm not gonna finish that joke though, because I'll feel like a terrible person. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Novor coming to you from the fine locale of Canuckville, Canada. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace!